Active Kreative, Valerie guides individuals on a journey that unlocks their creative potential, exploring the full spectrum of human experiences. Today, we'll be talking with Valerie about how creativity can act as a transformative tool. Welcome, Valerie.
Thank you, Veronica, for such an intro.
It's such a great pleasure to have you here. Can you share with us how creativity acts as a transformative tool and why it's so effective in helping people unlock their potential?
Yeah, so, we are born creative. It is such a natural instinct that we have to explore, to play.
Yeah.
And then as logic kicks in, around 3 years old, we start to analyze things, and then we create a pattern of fixing, solution making, problem solving, and then we lose that path that makes us thrive. Yeah. And most of people, they start living into survival mode of how to fix things rather than thrive through the creative potential that we hold. So that way, the good thing that creativity can be learned, and it's a skill, and art becomes the tool of as a gateway to get into that flow state where you can leave your problem solving, thinking, analytical mind and get into that thriving, full of potential world where you can find where's your potential lies behind it. And the beauty that art becomes the way for subconscious to open up. So you don't, in traditional talk therapy, you have to use your mind to analyze what's happening and going through all the behavioral patterns. And with art therapy or any creative expressive therapy, you go directly to contact with your subconscious, what lies beneath.
Yeah.
Yes, and it opens up that, new world for people. And Australia is going through a big crisis at the moment because 2 in 5 young Australians are living with mental health illnesses. And unfortunately, they don't have resources to approach a health professional that can help them because it's quite costly, as we know. And that's where, such alternative tools come in and they can integrate into their life. The first thing is your awareness of the situation, and the next thing is to actually get in using the tools that is available, which currently there's not much, and that's where the problem starts. So people go to social media, they try to find solutions, which are usually going into recession and making them feel worse.
Okay. So let's say you shared that we can address anxiety with art therapy. I just want to ask our viewers to picture, let's say a person with anxiety comes to art therapy. What happens for them? What do they do?
So the thing is with art therapy, it doesn't have to be a physical, it could be a lot of ways of approaching this as a tool, as a method, right? So the therapy itself, expressive therapy, art therapy, helps you to process your emotions that you store. So if you think 100 years ago, we didn't have a lifestyle that we have today, right? Okay. So we would only see maybe 5-10 people a day. We wouldn't have exposure to the news. We wouldn't have exposure to social media and obviously innovation and the sound around us. Yeah. So we had time for ourselves. We had a space to process what's happening.
And now we have this overstimulating world.
Yes. Yeah. And now what happens, you don't have that space. So people understanding that anxiety comes from overwhelming of emotions that hasn't been processed. But for processing emotions, you need time and space to be in a safe, supportive environment to process these emotions. So your body releases all these hormones and art therapy is literally a non-invasive, non-costly way of processing your emotions if you make it your way of dealing with, your physical or emotional states.
Okay.
And it's so easily done if you take it not as a creative approach of, getting into artistic flow or drawing or making a beautiful art, but just as a tool to get yourself into the state of understanding what's happening.
I think lots of our viewers, they think that you have to be rather artistic to get into the art therapy. What's your opinion on that?
Originally, that's what it's called, but it has been transformed. So now we can say it's expressive therapy or creative therapy, but originally 60 years ago that's what they called it. So it's not about actually creating an artwork or drawing or painting. It's using physical tools, movements, voice, sounds as a way to express your emotions and process them. So you come with your reflection time piece. You know, we work through a lot of modalities within the body and with breath work. So
moving from that cognitive thinking to more sensory and feelings and unconsciousness.
Yes. So the body produces a lot of subconscious thoughts, you know, that are stored in the body, in physical cells. And by, you know, talking through it, you can obviously release it, but there's no physical release, as you can use the talk therapy in a way of processing with your mind and helping your mind to understand the reasons what's happening with you. You know, breath work, for example, is part of a huge process that I use, because it is the first thing that you start by putting your nervous system into relaxing mode, so you're not in survival, right? And then when you use that different modalities in combination, integrating them, your body released all those thoughts that you don't know you have because they are stored.
Yeah, we touched base today earlier about, you know, just doing the body work and then your actual state follows that, and then the other things as well somehow solved. So sometimes when we move that shift from just, you know, overthinking about the problem and doing the work with our body and unconsciousness, the actual problem solving will come with that. Yeah,
it
sounds
so
like a magic process, as you said.
It is magical, and during the process you can see how people uplift, and they there's a lot of hormone release happens, you know, during the process, because your brain is actually releasing emotions through expression, and then you're using your analytical brain to understand what's happening with you and reflect on it and make conclusion and then make decision if you want to change it.
Okay.
So the whole happens in a matter of 30 minutes.
That sounds good.
You know, and it doesn't, and the beauty is that you don't need to actually come up with solutions or, you know, have expectation that, okay, I'm going to fix today. And it isn't a process that opens you up to live a different life just by expressing what you are going through, you know, as you said, in daily life.
It sounds like it's a good therapy if you are stuck and you actually don't know what to do next or what to choose or what's the best opportunity for you.
And the thing that what happens, the magical moment, that most of the time, because your subconscious is opening up, you are creating those new pathways, neural pathways, that your brain hasn't been processed. So the actual work happens after you leave the session, because your brain starts to analyze and try to solve the puzzle of what those emotions came up for. So I have this new vision. Now I need to make sure that it's real for me and how to integrate it into reality.
Yeah, integrate into reality. It's almost like having a workout. You can't see exactly right there in that hour what happened to your muscles. But over time, you definitely can see when the body makes it all work itself. So I hope our viewers found inspiration in Valerie's perspective, and we'll jump on her podcast, Perspectives. And it will spark to start exploring their own creativity as a means for personal growth. It was a pleasure to have Valerie to join us and share her perspective. We hope to see you again, and I'll see you at some therapy sessions.
Thank you so much, Veronica. It was a pleasure.
It's easy to think of mental health as something we address only in